It's a terrorist state.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Saudi is a terrorist state.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Al Saud no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Saudi is a terrorist state.
All Islam terrorists.
Al Saud terrorists.
All Islam terrorists.
Al Saud terrorists.
All Islam terrorists.
Al Saud terrorists. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down.
Our brother and sister, please join me, please join me. Leave our Makkah and Saud. All of us join me, please. Leave our Makkah and Saud. Leave our Makkah and Saud. You are criminals. Leave our Makkah and Saud. Don't insult her, man. Leave it now. Leave it now. Leave it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we commemorate the martyrdom of Sheikh Nimr, 1 year on since the 2nd of January 2016, you need to remind the world that what's happening in that part of the world. Still the war goes on in Iraq and Syria and Lebanon. Still struggle in our Bahrain carries on unabated. Day in, day out since the 14th of February 2011. And in a few weeks' time it's going to be the 6th anniversary of that revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Still the war carries on in Yemen when the whole world watching, doing nothing, and the arms are still going there. There is a denial here, a denial there by the British government or the American administration for lipstick words, because the war has been waged in March 2016 against our people. Ladies and gentlemen, now with Sister Dina, human rights campaigner, to give a speech on the first anniversary of the martyrdom of Sheikh Nimr and his comrade on the 2nd of January 2016. Please.
We are gathered to name, shame, and expose who is supposedly an elected member of the Human Rights Council, but unfortunately seems to know absolutely nothing about human rights. Saudi Arabia Despite being a member of the Human Rights Council, Saudi Arabia continues to violate basic dignities and rights which its citizens and even citizens abroad should enjoy. The right to life, the right to be free from torture, the right to not be arbitrarily detained or arrested. Saudi Arabia continues to target any form of peaceful dissent, trying to delegitimize it with false accusations and false charges. in a bid to silence anybody who speaks out against them. We're here today to honour Sheikh Nimr who was one such social justice activist that was brave enough to speak out against the Saudi government. Having seen decades and decades of oppression and injustice from the Saudi government, Sheikh Nimr spoke out and spoke up valiantly and bravely. He called for social justice. He called for dignity. He called for the honour of the people. He called to stop having their youth arbitrarily arrested. He called for the basic freedoms. He called for the right to elect the people who run their country. He called for elections. He called for, essentially, democracy. That's not a crime. That's not a crime worthy of execution. So here we are today, honouring Sheikh Nimr, telling the Saudi Arabian embassy to pass the message down to headquarters back in Riyadh that Sheikh Nimr is not only an internal case, as in he's not only a Saudi citizen. Sheikh Nimr is a symbol of freedom for people around the world. Here we are in London, and across the world other protests continue to take place to honour the great man and the great sacrifice that Sheikh Nimr made. And still, even following the execution, they have felt in a bid to further oppress him. Even in his death, they have failed to return his body to the family. Let us ask why. What did they do to that body before they executed him? Maybe they're hiding even more gross violations. So we're here today to honour what Sheikh Nimr stood for and to continue the call for dignity and to say enough. Stop these human rights violations. Stop executing minors. Stop arresting and sentencing to death protesters. Protesting is not a crime. We're here today in the name of Sheikh Nimr, who during his last prison visit told his brothers and his family, don't think about me, focus on the youth who are on death row. We're here today to call upon the Saudi government to release the young minors on death row. For example, Sheikh Nimr's own nephew, Ali Nimr, Dawood al-Marhoon, and Abdullah Zahar, as well as that there are two other protesters who are currently on death row, adults, Yusuf al-Mshaykhas and Amjad al-Mu'aybid. So we're here today to call for their release. Do not repeat the same mistake you did with Sheikh Nimr. Sheikh Nimr's execution actually exposed your violations to the world, and the world is watching what you are doing now. Everybody is clear that Saudi Arabia is a state that executes and violates human rights in the most grotesque way. It tortures, it imprisons, it gives unfair trial, and any execution or death sentence that comes following an unfair trial is considered illegal.